From the moment I started reading, I knew this book was going to be trouble. Gritty adaptations always are. I had come into this like any other schmuck, expecting wacky antics and endless meta-humor. What I got instead was page after page of enigmatic drivel. Confusion piled on cliché like a Christopher Nolan movie hit in the face with sci-fi original writing. But still, I had to review it. I couldn't help it. Like a blackjack player just has to take one more hit. Well, I thought, here it goes.
Hey guys, do you know who's awesome? No, not Superman this time. I'm talking about Deadpool.
No, not that Deadpool. That's Deathstroke. That's also Deathstroke. That's Slade from Teen Titans, who is technically still Deathstroke. Oh, come on, that's Captain Linger. No one's gonna get that reference.
Are you even trying? Never mind. Alright, today we're going to talk about Deadpool Pulp. Now, many of you who love Deadpool probably like him for the same reasons I do. He's wacky, he's eccentric, he makes a lot of fourth wall jokes, just a lot of meta humor. And with this story, you get... let's just see what it's about.
The story here takes place during the height of the Cold War. A rogue agent called Outlaw has stolen a nuclear briefcase capable of leveling half a city, and the only person the CIA can think to send in after this mad woman is their own resident psychopath, Wade Wilson, codenamed Deadpool. Wilson has to follow the trail of breadcrumbs to the briefcase before Outlaw can start World War III.
I gotta tell you guys, I'm really conflicted about this one. It's just that it... well, it's probably, it's kind of... you know what, let's just look at what works.
The artwork here is really striking and memorable, especially its use of light and darkness. I really like this Deadpool design too. It's very ninja-ish, which is pretty much what Deadpool has always been, and really fits with this version's Japanese origin. On top of that, there are a lot of really cool ideas thrown in regarding Wade Wilson. See, this story takes place before the Weapon X program accelerated Wilson's cancer, so he's not quite as loony as you may go in expecting. More on that later, but immediately it means a severe drop in wacky humor, save for the two voices in his head. For those of you who aren't familiar with the character of Deadpool, he has two voices in his head that are constantly bickering with each other and him, who are portrayed as yellow and white text boxes. There's a point in the beginning where it appears that Wilson is totally normal until he gets out his Deadpool costume, at which point the bubbles appear.
Okay, that's a really cool idea. It's, you know, Wade Wilson and Deadpool are almost separate entities, and Deadpool is linked to the costume as Wilson's psychosis made manifest.
The world and dialogue is very noir. I'm not entirely sure whether this story is in continuity with the other Marvel noir stories like Spider-Man or X-Men, but if you enjoy those, I imagine you'll enjoy this one.
Alright, I can appreciate good noir. Let's take a look.
You ever wonder what it's all about? Wonder if this is what you wanted? Wonder if anyone even cares? I mean, the day in, day out can just make you want to scream. From the moment you're born, you're told to go to school, respect your elders, meet a nice guy, and settle down. Have some kids, be a good citizen. So do you wonder? Huh? Do ya? Maybe just a little? Because I sure as hell don't. Most of these guys are ex-soldiers. They came back from the war and found themselves lost. We taught them to kill, but we didn't teach them what to do afterwards. They didn't fit in this new America anymore, so they took the only freedom they knew, their motorcycles. And so they headed out in search of adventure. They can have a dramatic monologue about anything, can't they? I should have known it was too simple. Just push this tab, and the box will open like a Twilight plot hole. Huh. Sure it will. I thought I was in for processed cheese-like glory. Instead, I had just found a world of lies. Lies and deceit.
I mean, the whole comic is like this. It's full of this really confusing monologue that, yeah, can sound impressive sometimes, but usually...
Are you all saying that you can go into a dream and take people in that dream into their own dreams?
Not all the time, just this once, and maybe one other time.
It's so complex and cool!
Just because an idea is overly convoluted and complex doesn't make it cool!
Alright, we're solidly into things that don't work territory now. And maybe I'm just not appreciative of noir enough to really get into this, but I feel like they're just trying to throw so many prolific ideas at us that it's really just getting jumbled up.
I mean, check out this scene where Wade is being profiled by a psychiatrist, and wait a minute, what are his speech bubbles doing here? I thought they were linked to the Deadpool costume. I mean, maybe it's because they're talking about when he was a POW? But then here, he's not in costume, and they're clearly talking about mercenary work, and there's no speech bubbles.
I don't get it. They needed to go with one thing or another. Have the speech bubbles when he has a costume on, have them all the time, or just don't have them at all. I was led to believe there was some kind of symbolism here, but it turns out they're just throwing things in willy-nilly. Just throw us another monologue.
Some girls like to be chased. Others like to do the chasing, but to outlaw, it's all part of the game. It's not enough to kill or steal. She enjoys the process. The agency thinks they know everything, but they don't. Because if they did, they would have known that they asked me to kill the only woman I've ever loved.
Really? Really? We could not have just had a strong female character on her own merits. She has to be Deadpool's love interest. I mean, why? What does it accomplish?
It doesn't affect the story or how either of the characters behave, as they're still totally willing to pull guns on each other and even kill one another. It really doesn't even help the investigation, and Wilson reaches his conclusions completely on his own.
And that's really my problem with this book. I mean, there's just so much stuff that they seem to throw in just for the sake of it, without any real point.
I said earlier that the art is really striking and memorable, and it does phenomenally well with light and dark contrast. But this is an instance where the images should have just been left to tell the story. The constant monologues are very distracting, and like I already said, the romance can die in a fire.
So, what wins out here, the good or the bad? Well, in this case, I've got to go with the bad. The dialogue is just so pretentious. The monologues are just tangents that don't go anywhere, and they're really distracting from the admittedly gorgeous artwork. I don't know, maybe if you really like the noir style or want to see a darker, grittier Deadpool, you'll enjoy this, but I was disappointed. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. I'll see you next time.
Well, that was it. Another book closed, shot down like an 8-bit goose in Duck Hunt. I had to ask myself, what's next? What else can this world of mayhem and spandex send my way? Like one too many abstruse analogies. The only way to know was to just keep on trucking.